Let's take a look at how to use the Rate Stretch tool to dynamically change clip speed right in our timeline. All right, so I'm going to come down to my green marker here. And here I have Esther talking about the ovens, and then we cut to some B-roll. Let's take a look.
But after each batch comes out, it has to be refired for 20 minutes. And we're good to our ovens, we mind them. We don't overwork them. They're treated with...
All right, so I have an issue here. There's a gap, and so I know that I need to just trim this over to cover the gap. So I'll take my trimming tool and trim. But I can't, okay? See these little white triangles? It's telling me that I've used absolutely every frame of this shot. So I could instead, move this over and then trim other shots to fill in the gap. Or I could go find another flame shot. Or I could simply use the Rate Stretch tool to trim this over, thereby slowing the shot down slightly. The Rate Stretch tool is found within this menu here. Right now, Ripple Edit tool is selected, but down here I have Rate Stretch tool, keyboard shortcut R. And now I can grab onto the edge of the clip, and it looks a little bit like the trimmer, except it has a curved black arrow through it. And I can drag out, okay? And I have trimmed the shot. I haven't actually added frames to the shot. I've simply slowed the shot down so that the existing frames play out. So if I zoom in here, you can see that I'm at 74.58% speed, and I'm going to play over it.
Refired for 20 minutes. And we're good to our ovens, we mind them. We don't overwork them. They're treated with...
Okay, so that could work if I needed it to. I'm going to go back to my selection tool V. And now, when I trim this shot, I am going to remain at 74.58% speed. So if I trim this back, I'm removing frames, but at my new speed. Okay, so once you perform a rate stretch edit, that is the new speed of the clip. Now you can also, of course, use the Rate Stretch tool to speed clips up. For example, if I come to my earlier marker here, this shot of my flame is quite long. I'm going to play over this.
They switch on these ovens and they take 2 to 3 hours to bring up to temperature to bake the first batch of bread. The oven has to be right, and that's only because you have...
I like how it pans from the left to the right, and I want that entire action, but it'd be great if it happened a little faster. So I'll use my Rate Stretch tool, keyboard shortcut R, and I'll grab onto this shot and trim back to here. And so now we're at 126.83% speed, and I'll just play a little bit of it.
Ovens, and they take 2 to 3 hours to bring up to temperature.
And that works just fine. I do want to mention that when you're using the Rate Stretch tool on clips with audio, the audio pitch is affected. So if I come back to Esther's interview here, and I use my Rate Stretch tool and drag in, so we're making it faster, and I'll play. Or I can make it slower by dragging out.
And the oven talks to him.
All right, obviously not what I want, so I'll undo there. So just be careful when using the Rate Stretch tool on clips containing audio. I'll switch back to my selection tool V. All right, so that is the Rate Stretch tool, a really nice, tactile way of affecting the speed of your clips right in the timeline.